Assalamu alaikum, guys. YouTube channel, Digital Gaming Station. Today I am going to show you how to enable multi-frame generation with older GPUs that actually doesn't support multi-frame generation natively. Speaking of 20 series, RTX 20 series GPUs, 30 series, and 40 series. And with that as well, I'm also going to show you how to use DLSS4 in every game, and I mean by the games that do support them, and the games that do not support DLSS, we leave that to the next or another video some another time. And also how to use the transformer preset as well. And also to mention all of the things that I'm going to show, how to change DLSS, how to change from frame generation to multi-frame generation, the mods. I'm going to mention their links down in the description section. So let's start with the first option, and that is DLSS Swapper. So here it is. I have opened that, and as anyone can see that I have all these games here. And let's go to GTA. Now this game doesn't have DLSS4, but now the game has been updated with DLSS4 multi-frame generation support, and that's what we are going to see how it benefits that. So before that, you have to download DLSS Swapper. I'm going to mention the link in description. First of all, you have to download all the DLLs from its library. So this is the latest version, 3.10.1.33. Then after that comes DLSS frame generation, same one, construction, FSR 3.1 for DX12, FSR 3.1 for Vulkan. You have to download the latest versions, and then you have to come to the game section, and all those games that you have on Steam or Ubisoft app or EA app, they are going to populate automatically when you open this app. But if you have quiet games, you can manually add those games. Yeah, like I have added all these games: LNV, Battlefield 6, Cyberpunk, God of War, Ragnarok, things like that. So, how we are going to change the versions? So there is GT5. This is the latest version. Just click on it, swap. Now you want to use the DLSS transformer model. Games that do not support that, you have to select this preset and use the preset key. When you save that, your game will automatically run with transformer model. And you can also change the FSR 3.1 as well for better quality. Swap and close. Alright, and you can do the same for all the other games like I have did. Like I have changed DLSS4 latest version in almost every game. Alright, so now let's move on to the first game. First of all, I'm going to show you how to mod the game. So the first game that I have, it is the first Bazooka Khazan. For that, I've already put the files, but I'm going to show it again how I did that. So here I have this DLSS to FSR model from Nukem9. Just copy these files, and I'm going to do the same method for all the other games as well. Paste. Alright, and to download DLSS tweaks, copy this file, enable NVIDIA signature override, paste this file as well. Now you only have to use it only once, but if the DLSS frame generation doesn't work or multi-frame generation, then you should also first run this one. After that, run the game and see if you see any other difference, and you see if the frame generation or multi-frame generation is working or not. So let's start the game. Alright guys, so first of all, I'm going to show you a game without any frame generation on native resolution. And then after that I'm going to turn on AMD FSR frame generation to show how the FPS, how much we gain FPS at 2x level, and then at the end I will show how much we get the FPS, how much FPS we get with frame generation set to 4x. So this is the native 1080p resolution, game graphic setting set to max, and DLSS is turned off and no frame generation. So this is the FPS we are getting, around 80 to 100 FPS, around about. Alright, so now we will close the game since changing this setting asks for us to restart the game. So let's apply that. So my mistake. And this is turned on. Now we are going to restart the game. Alright, so now we are in the game. We have resolution 1080p, graphics settings set to max level, and we have turned on AMD FSR 3 upscaling to quality level with frame generation on. And here we go. So now before we were getting 80 to 90 FPS, and now we are getting almost 150 FPS with frame generation turned on. So this is frame generation 2x. So yeah, we are getting almost 150 FPS at average. And AMD FSR is also doing good. There isn't any ghosting effects even with such high FPS. Alright, so now next we are going to turn on DLSS with DLSS frame generation and restart the game again one more time. Alright, so now we have booted up the game with DLSS4, resolution set to 1080p, graphics to maximum. Now we will just turn on DLSS frame generation through the Nukem9 mod, and we will see how much FPS we get improved. Alright, here we go. So with AMD frame generation we were getting like 150 FPS, and now we are getting like 250 260 FPS. So there is definitely increase in the FPS due to multi-frame generation. And as you can see, the first person Khazan is the first of like many games that doesn't produce any ghosting or artifacts using multi-frame generation. I have tested many games and not many games run with such clear graphics and clear output. As you can see, there are no noticeable ghosting, none that I can see properly. Yeah, but there is a little bit ghosting. But yeah, it's worth it. I mean, just look at the FPS. At native resolution, we were getting like 80 to 100 FPS at max. With frame generation set to 2x, we were getting maximum of 150 FPS, and now we are getting from 250 to 290, 270 FPS, which is, I believe, a really amazing thing. And the game is very super responsive and smooth. So here is it for this game. And now after this one we will move on to the next game, which is Grand Theft Auto 5 Enhanced. Alright, so let's move on to GTA 5. here it is, and you should drag and drop the files to the main exe directory. Whichever game you want to use frame generation with, you have to put the files in the main exe directory of the game files. So like this is GTA 5, this is the main folder, this is the main exe files, and here I have dropped the files. These are the 3 files. Alright, so when you download the mod Nukem9, this universal version 130 from Nexus mod, you will get these 3 versions. Now most of the games they support these 2 versions, DBG help and DLLL version. So for GTA 5 I have used the first one, DBG help. I'll copy paste that again just to show you. Here it is, and I will also put that signature drive file as well, just to be safe. Run this file, and now we will use NVIDIA Profile Inspector. Search Grand Theft Auto. Alright, so okay, so as you can see, we only have Grand Theft Auto 5 file launcher. We don't have enhanced version. So what we are going to do is, we're going to skip that. We're going to go global. Here it is. Now using this profile, it like changes that setting for every game. I mainly manually use this. So here it is, multi-frame generation, set to 4x, apply. Alright, close that down, run the game. Alright guys, so we are in the game, and let me show you the graphics settings. I have set the graph resolution to 1080p with ray tracing on ultra. All graphics are set to max. I'm using NVIDIA DLSS set to quality, and frame generation for now is AMD FSR 3 to show how the performance is at frame generation 2x level. After that I'll show you how much FPS we get on 4x using DLSS frame generation. So right now this is the FPS we are getting, around 90 FPS with frame generation set to 2x. And as you guys can see, there isn't any ghosting with FSR frame generation because it is working at built-in level of the game. Alright, now let's turn the frame generation to DLSS. Alright, that's a big performance uplift. We were getting like 90 FPS and now our FPS is above 170 FPS. So it means that multi-frame generation is working in GTA 5 as well, and the game seems running totally smooth, and I can see there is no ghosting while walking, but let's see if there is any ghosting while riding a car, because I did made a video before, a benchmark for GTA 5, and riding a car, there was a ghosting that you could see on the wheels. As you can see, the ghosting behind. The FPS is well maintained in 150s and 160s, but there is a bit of ghosting at the behind of the car, which is kind of acceptable, I believe, with enjoying the game with this much FPS and seeing DLSS multi-frame generation working on an unsupported GPU. Like in my case, I'm using RTX 3060 Ti. Alright, so I believe that's it for GTA 5. Alright, so the next game I have after GTA 5, that is The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. So first of all, I'm going to show you how to mod this one as well. So this is The Last of Us Part 2. Just open the folder and the main exe is right up within this folder. Alright, so I have also used DB help and DLSS, but let me just copy paste that again. Alright, here it is. I'm going to copy paste the signature drive as well. Okay, let's run that as well. Alright, and now the last thing is NVIDIA Profile Inspector. Now just open that and search for Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Click on that. Scroll. Here is multi-frame generation. I've already set to 4x. Click on it. Save changes. That's it. And now just run the game. Alright, so I'm going to show that I have the resolution is 1080p, where graphics set to everything to max, very high. I'm using DLSS quality transformer model, and I'm going to use FSR frame generation to show how much FPS we get on 2x performance. After that, we will change it to DLSS frame generation. Alright, so we are in the game now at 1080p, upscaling set to quality and with FSR frame generation. So there was a hiccup. I am actually running the game on hard disk, that's why. Okay, so we are getting almost 70 to 90 FPS in this game. Okay, so as you can see, yeah, we are getting almost 90 FPS. Alright. And yeah, this game does have some ghosting issues with the frame generation. Alright, now let's change the frame generation to DLSS to see how much FPS we get with multi-frame generation. Okay, so we did got some noticeable change. We got from 90 to 110, not too much. Alright, that's about 120-125 FPS in Last of Us 2. So I guess this is as much FPS we can get with DLSS set to 4x in The Last of Us Part 2. And there is a bit of blurriness and some ghosting using mod on this game. Alright, that's it for The Last of Us 2. Okay, so now move on to the next game, Mafia the Old Country. Let's see how this one performs, but let me show you how to copy paste files in this game. So we have this here, the main folder of Mafia the Old Country. Alright, so this is the location where you need to copy the files in order to mod the DLSS frame generation and to use multi-frame generation. So again, copy the files. For this one, we are going to use the third one, win.http.dll, because the other two ones are not working on this game. Alright. Copy, enable signature override. And this one for once. Alright, now we have to open the NVIDIA Profile Inspector and search for Mafia the Old Country. Select, scroll down, multi-frame generation set to 4x, apply. I'll just run the game. Alright, so right now I'm using 1080p resolution and with DLSS set to quality, frame generation is turned off, and everything is set to highest settings, epic. Alright, so I have restarted the portion because sometimes multi-frame generation doesn't work correctly if you just turn on and off the option. So it is better to restart the game after changing the setting to take proper effect. Alright, so as you guys can see, our graphics FPS have been like tripled. From before we were getting 35 FPS and now the FPS is around 90. But as you can see, we have the UI HUD flickering ghosting issue in this game. Alright, the game is running smooth, but there is the issue of ghosting in this game. Not every game looks perfect when turning on the multi-frame generation sadly. Yes, and the other issue is that I'm using NVIDIA Shadowplay for the screen recording. So you're not seeing the perfect FPS that I get without the recording. If I wasn't recording this video, I'll be getting here about 100 plus FPS. So my FPS do get reduced a lot because of the recording. Alright, so I believe that would be enough for Mafia the Old Country. But as you can see guys, the multi-frame generation is working. So you can try on your own GPU and see how much FPS you can gain from this. Okay, next is actually Marvel Spider-Man 2, but the issue is that for some reason frame generation is sometimes works in this game, sometimes it's not working for me. This is the only game that has this issue. So I'll show the how to mod this one at the end. It's the same process, but the game doesn't work for me, but I'll check that one at the end. For now, I'll show you the next game, Stellar Blade. It it runs very beautifully with frame generation and multi-frame generation. So let's start modding this one. So here we have the main folder, Stellar Blade. Open that folder, go to SP folder, binaries, Win64. Now here is the main exe file, and here is the modded file of Nukem9 mod. Now I'll again copy paste these files again, these two, and copy paste here. Now I'll copy the enable signature overdrive. Paste here. Alright, now we are set. So first of all, I'm going to run the game with AMD FSR. The game do require a restart after changing the settings. So I'll restart again with DLSS4 on the second one. Alright, so we are inside Stellar Blade game. I have set the resolution to 1080p. The rest of the options are maxed out. I am using AMD FSR 3 set to quality with FSR frame generation. Everything is set to max quality. So let's see how much FPS we get. Alright, that's good. We are getting almost more than 100 FPS in this game. Bear in mind I will get few stutters here and there because I'm doing the game in hardest. Alright, so it shows us that the game is enabled. With FSR frame generation, there isn't any ghosting as well. FPS is good. It's ranging from 100 to 130s, around about. So I'm just going to restart the game again and set DLSS frame generation, and then we'll see how much FPS we get instead of. Alright guys, so now we are in the game, and now we have NVIDIA DLSS4 upscaling set to quality and frame generation. It shows 2x, but using NVIDIA Profile Inspector we are actually running the game on 4x. Everything is set to ultra, the same settings as previously. Now let's go inside the game and see how much FPS we get. Alright, nice. So we are getting more than 200 FPS, 230s, 240s, where we were previously getting about 100 to 130 FPS. Again, as I mentioned, I'm getting setups because of recording as well as I'm playing the game from the hardware, not from the SSD. And the game is super responsive, and as you can see from the HUD and UI, there isn't any ghosting in the game. Here I move the game. If you can see, there is a little bit ghosting while moving around you, but it is not that much noticeable. Right, and the game is still steadily running with more than 200 FPS. Alright.
It's a victory monument. The Hall of Records is under there.
Alright, so that's it for Stellar Blade. Alright, so now we are moving to Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'll again show you how to mod this game as well. After that we will run the game and let's hope that multi-frame generation works for me this time as well. So here's the Marvel Spider-Man. It's directly in the main folder. I have already used these files, as you can see. It also uses version.dll. So again, I'll just copy paste these two files into the game. I'll copy again, enable NVIDIA signature override. Okay, I run that. Now open NVIDIA Profile Inspector, search for Marvel. Here is Marvel Spider-Man 2. Press on that. Multi-frame generation in the fifth tab, common. Set to 4x. Apply changes. Then close that. Now here we are, and just run the game. Now I'm going to firstly run the game without any frame generation. Alright, the resolution is set to 1080p, upscaling DLSS quality, upscale preset transformer. I'm going to turn this off. Okay, run the game. Alright, so we are in the game right now with no frame generation. We are almost getting 3946 FPS. This is automatically set to next settings with ray tracing done. Alright, so now we are going to FSR frame generation from the settings. And apply. We're going to disable performance boost. Alright, so as you can see, we got almost 70 to 80 or 90 FPS depending on the situation. So now I'm going to try to use DLSS frame generation and see if the multi-frame generation is working for me or not. Alright guys, as you can see, it did had any effect. When it takes effect, you are going to see a lot of ghosting in the HUD and UI, which I am not getting right. So it means that FSR is working, but DLSS frame generation using the mod is not working for me. Most of the time when I record videos, it doesn't work. Without recording, it works. Alright guys, so let's leave Spider-Man for another day. Alright guys, so I have shown you how to use DLSS frame generation using Nukem9 mod and multi-frame generation in quite a few games, and you can check out the NVIDIA website for a complete list of games that supports multi-frame generation as of August 19, 2025, and you can try out all of those games. I have already made a lot of videos on different games individually. You can check that out on my channel as well. And again, I'm going to mention all the links down in the description below for you to check out the mod links directly so you can open them, download them, and use them how I have showed you. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more content like this. Okay. Allah Hafiz.